Good morning, dear children. A small portion of our previous chapter, that is characteristics and classification of living organism, has left. So today we are going to complete that. So let us see about that. And today our first topic is need for classification. So children, why do we need to classify? Actually, classification is important as it allows scientists to develop groups and properly name organism and to know more about the organism exactly. Okay, so classification of organism is very important. You can see organisms has been classified into animals, bacteria, fungi, plants, and further more subdivisions are there among them. So first of all, today we will learn about the classification of plants. Okay, so classification of living organism, the first category is classification of plants. Plants has been divided into herbs, shrubs, trees, and plants which need supports, that is climbers. So first of all, we are going to learn about herbs. See, these are some examples of herbs. So herbs are small plants that have soft and green stem. They may have a lifespan of less than a year. They are called annuals. For example, coriander, dhania, what we are calling in Hindi, wheat and rice. A few more examples you can see in this picture. Nextly, we are going to learn about shrubs. So shrubs have a medium height and the stem are relatively hard. They live for more than a year and are called perennial plants. Example, rose, basharam, bear, etc. In this picture you can see that it is have a medium height and stems are little bit harder. Okay, the next thing we are going to learn about, that is tree. You all know what is tree. They are tall and large plant. Their stems are thick and hard. The trees are perennials. Example, mango, banyan, peepal, neem, etc. Nextly, we are going to learn about plants who need support, that is climbers or twiners. So the climbers or twiners have long stem, you can see in this picture, that are weak. Hence they climb using some support. They could be annual, biennial or perennial. Example, peas, bottle gourd, pumpkin, bougainvillea, etc. Nextly, we are going to learn about animals classification. We have classified plants based on two parameters, that similarly animals can also be classified on the basis of different characteristics. The main one is invertebrates and vertebrates. Okay, so first of all we are going to learn about vertebrates. What is vertebrates? It is clear from this picture that animals that have a backbone are called vertebrates. You can see in this examples, that is fish, mammals, reptiles, amphibians, birds, including human beings also. Okay, so those who have backbone are called vertebrates. Okay, so what are vertebrates? Animals with backbones are called vertebrates. Example, snake, dog, duck, horse and human beings. Okay, next is invertebrates. Clearly you can understand from this picture, these organisms are not having backbone. So what are called invertebrates? Animals who does not have any backbone, has no internal or external skeleton, are called invertebrates. They are usually small and over 95% of animals are invertebrates. Okay children. Now children, we are going to understand and learn about scientific names of living organism. So what are scientific names? So plants and animals have different names in different languages. So that is example, the mango is called aam in Hindi and mangaya in Tamil, amdi in Gujarati, manga in Malayalam, ama in Chhattisgarhi, and so other names are there for the aam. And similarly the panther is called tendua in Hindi, shivangi in Kannada and chirudhai in Tamil. So it is necessary that for research any one organism should have only one name all over the world. So that is why scientists have given them scientific names. Okay, so scientific names they are giving, so it is scientifically proven and internationally accepted. For few examples are given in this picture. For example, scientific name of human beings is Homo sapiens, frog is Rana tigrina, rose is Rosa indica, rat is Rattus rattus, etc. Okay. Now children, we are going to learn about importance of plants and animals. So importance of plants, why plants are important. When last time I was teaching you the plants process of making food, photosynthesis, in that I told you plants liberating one gas, that is oxygen gas, and plants are only producers in this world. So plants provide us food, plants are used in medicines, plants gives us building materials, plants are used in our clothing, plants provide fuels, and plants provide us with beauty and pleasures also. So okay, so plants are the basic need of our life. It is used as food, as spices, medicines, beverages, fibers, paper industries, purification of environment, oil, and so many other things that we can't say in this, that we can't see in this picture, but plants are very very important for our lives. Now the importance of animals. Animal is also as important in lives as for food, for transport, in leather industries, to get wool, honey, wax, etc. Okay, so all those animal products which are obtained from animals, they are useful in life. You can see in this picture animals used for transport, etc. Okay children. So children, here we have completed our characteristics and classification of living organism. Tomorrow I am going to upload assignment section, question answers in the assignment section. Go through that and nice carefully. Till that time, thank you.